This first set of finals will be really easy. The first one is ah. That E makes a sound, and the O makes a O. This next set of sounds will also be easy for you. The first one is I, ow, O, A. Now the OU is just like the O and above, except we make a oo sound at the end. O. So we have I, ow, O, and A. Now, before we go over these next three sets of finals, I want to introduce you a term that I have made up to represent these three sets of finals. I call them superfinals. And the reason I call them superfinals is because they are finals that stand alone, that can be used on their own without any initial. And they are also words in Chinese. And when they are used that way, they are spelled differently than when they are used in combination with initials. So our first sound is going to be woo, woo. Now notice when it's spelled as a final that's combined with an initial, it's spelled U. It's spelled with that U. But it's pronounced woo. Wa, wan, wang, wai, wei. Now notice the spelling is very different. It's not a U-E-I, but it's a U-I, but it comes out wei. One, again, this is spelled U-N and not U-E-N, which may make it sound confusing when you see something with a U-N and not realize you need to make a one sound. Wo. Now this next set of sounds goes with the E sound. So yi, ya, yang. Now this one you would think would be yan, but it's actually pronounced a little bit differently than ya and yang. It's yen, 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 yen. We'll practice that more later. Yao, ye, yin, yo. Notice the different spelling when it's used as a final combined with an initial. Yong. Now, this next set of sounds might be a little hard for most Americans to make. It is pronounced yu. Now, this is hard because we don't really make this sound in English, but it's actually a really easy sound to make. We continue to make that E sound like we did in the previous set of sounds, except that we round our lips. We make that E sound on the inside of our mouth and an O sound on the outside. So if that's hard for you to make, do it like this. You start with E, E, and then round your lips. E, E, E. And you will find the sound is really easy to make. Now you'll notice that when it's used as a final combined with an initial, it uses the letter U or U with umlauts. And it's used with U with umlauts because some initials, when you combine a U with it, will actually make a woo sound. And if you want to make the U sound, then you need to add the umlauts to it. And that is the letters, the initials L and N. So LU would be Lu, but U with umlauts would be Lü. Yun, Yuan, Yue. Now we're going to talk a little bit about combining initials and finals, and the reason is because sometimes it's very hard to look at something and know how to pronounce it, and if you are able to dissect these syllables into what the initial component is and what the final component is, it will help you understand how to make the correct correct pronunciation. One example of this is CHU. You might think, oh, chu. But actually what you want to do to really correctly make this the correct pronunciation in Chinese is take the sound ch and wu and combine them. Ch, wu, chu, chu. And you get a more correct sound for the Chinese version of it. On to the next example. You have qi and yan. Qian, tian, qian. Bi and ye. Bie, 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 bie. Z and wei. Zui, zui, z, wei, z, wei, zui. Low, low. Xi ya, xia. 吃完船，吃完船。日我若。Now I've put a link here to give you a place where you can find a good Chinese pinyin table. Note that this Chinese pinyin table, some of the columns are not aligned properly, and you'll probably be able to figure that out. But it will help you when you find a new combination of finals and initials, that you'll be able to dissect those more easily and see what really makes up those two sounds, and use this combination of taking one sound and adding it to another. Now in this last little part here, I just want to show you that sometimes you have the same vowels or spellings but actually have two different sounds. The first example is CHU and JU. When we actually look at what is combined to make these two sounds, we find two different vowel sounds. One has a wu and one has a yu. So for this first one, CHU breaks down to chi wu, chu. The next one is ji and yu, ju. Let's see some more examples of this. Jun and Qun are two different things. One is a zh plus one, zhuan, and then the other one is qi plus yun, qun. And so when you see yun, you have to really understand what is making up that sound. Is it a yun or is it a one? And so that you can understand how to correctly make those sounds. The last thing I want to help you understand is the I in z, zh, and ji. Notice that they do not make the same vowel sound. Those I's are just there to go with the natural vowel sound that comes with making the correct consonant sound. So z, zh, ji. Z, zh, ji. Thank you for watching today, and be sure to subscribe to this channel to learn more Chinese, and leave your comments below. We look forward to understanding about how this has been helpful to you and how we can make it better. Thank you.